Hello everyone, good morning. So if you remember in last sessions we had a live sessions where we were trying to complete the end-to-end POC, but because of the time constraints we just did the half. So for half of the part I'll be scheduling another sessions. And today we'll be learning another small topics. Okay, so this is basically the methods in activity, or we use like the obj method. So basically we perform on the data on the database. Okay, so we will be learning because this is important. Okay, like for any Pega applications you must be knowing how to open object. Okay, how we can do Obj-browse, save, delete. Okay, because these are the very basics methods which we use in our day-to-day programming language. If you're in day-to-day or programming, if you're working on Pega. Okay, so mostly as of now these methods we used to use in activity, but now we all know that activity is deprecated. So the question is that how we can use in data transform. So we will learn that as well. So let's move ahead with that. Okay, so it will take around 10-15 minutes to understand these topics. Okay, so let's proceed. So what I have done, I have just created as usual. If you see in my like videos that I created sample applications. So here again I have created a sample applications, loan applications, but today we'll be not focusing much on the applications part. Okay, so it is just a sample applications with the three stages: create, approve and fulfill. Okay, so I've already created few cases. Okay, I can create now also. So if I create it, just have few fields on that create a screen, just loan type and then amount. So I can enter any amount and then just create a request. But the focus is not that one. So the focus is the how we can do Obj-open. Okay, so if you're a beginner, okay, if you're very fresh to Pega, then let's learn from both the angle. Okay, from activity as well as the data transform. So let's first learn in the activity. Okay, so this is my activity. Okay, so the first things which we have to do, I'll show you from the beginning. Okay, so this is a blank activity. Let's say I'll delete everything whatever I have. So now let's say that in while writing a program, okay, if you need, okay, if you need that, okay, you want to open an instances and do some save or something like that. So how we can do in data in activity. Okay, so let's learn that and I'll show you that how the similar things you can do in data transform. So let's say here you can see that I'm creating a request. Let me show you again. So I'll be creating a request. Okay, and here I'm giving amount $100 and just create a request. Let's say that you want to update this amount. Okay, like so here I'm showing the example of work, but you can take an example of any data instances. It can be like anything. Okay, but here let's say that I want to open this request and update that amount. Okay, from 100 to $200 or 200. Okay, using activity or using data transform. So let's first learn from the activity and then we'll do the same thing in data transform. So what will happen? Okay, you should not use this activity for this kind of work, but what you first thing is that you learn. Okay, and the second thing is that I'll show you that how we can do the data transform also. So how it will help is that let's say you are working on any legacy applications. Okay, and then where there you have to transform that. So you have to improve the guardrail score, compliance score. So then you can follow this one. So you can just visualize that, okay, if this is how it is there in activity, how I can do in data transform. So let's do that. So the first things, okay, to update that any case we have to open that case. Okay, so to open that case we have to define a page. Okay, so we can say case page, let's say, and then the class of that case page will be the work. Okay, or the whatever that instances you are trying to open. Okay, so if you are trying to open any data instances, so you have to give the data classes. Now we are done. So that we have defined. So now after that we'll go to steps and then we'll add Obj-open. So let's add Obj-open. So here I'll select Obj-open. So in Obj-open and the step page I'll give the same page so that the instances will open and mapped on this one. Okay, so the mandatory parameter for this one, that which class we want to open. So yes, we want to open this work class. Okay, and then we need to give the property. Okay, conditions basically on which property we want to open. So I'll just give, for now I'll just give PYID. Okay, you can open based on multiple instances, but for here Obj-open will always take the case ID. Okay, or the key. Key means basically whatever we have defined in the class. So you can see here that key is defined as the PYID. So I'll be opening with this one as only. So now I need a case ID. So let's take a case ID which we had just created. So I'll just copy this one and then here I'll do open. Now let's learn run it, this one. Okay, so trace run. So you can see that, okay, we have opened that entire data is there, okay, and the loan details, loan amount is 100. Now we want to update. So you learned that how we can do Obj-open, okay, in activity. Now let's learn that how, if you want to do the similar things in data transform, how we can do it, okay. So I have created a data transform as well, okay. So for that, what we'll be doing, okay, we'll be creating a data page, okay, in work class, okay. I have already created this one, so but for now I'll just simply delete it, okay. So let's say d underscore case details, we can create it, okay. So what we have to do, okay, let's go to create and then data model and data pages, and I'll be creating d underscore case details. So case details is the data page which I'll be creating in which class. So just compare with here, okay. So here what we have given in pages classes, we have given the work class, so I'll be giving the same work class here as well. Create it. So here instead of this one, okay, what we will be doing, we'll be doing a lookup. So there we were doing Obj-open, here we'll be doing the lookup. Again, to which class we want to do a lookup, we want to do the work class, okay. Because here if you expand that one Obj-open, we have given Obj-open here, so similar things we have to give here, that this class I want to open. Now for conditions, we have to give that condition. So PYID, so either we can give param.pyid or we can just say pass current parameter page. So I'll just do that, okay. And then here in parameter I'll mention the PYID, so that when I'll run PYID, okay, so done. So let's run this one as well with the same case ID and see. Run. So if I run, I got the same data, PYQTM loan work. One second, oh, sorry, I gave the wrong case ID. Okay, so we can see that we open that instances. Now we open that instances in both the places, okay. Now the next thing is that we want to update and save the data, okay. So we directly run that data page, okay. But now if you want to do from data transform, how we can do it, so we can just simply come to update page and refer that data page, okay. So we can refer like this, d underscore case details and d underscore case details, and then we have to pass the parameter. So in data manipulations, we'll come here, okay, and then we can do it like this, PYID and then we have to give the same value, okay. So either you can pass a dynamic value or you can hard code that as well, okay. So here for now I'll just hard code that. Sorry, this one. Okay, so now we have written the equivalent to Obj-open, okay. But one thing is missing is that we want to update, okay. So we open that on the case page, but here we don't have as such thing. So just the data will open on the case detail. So if I run this one and trace it, so we'll see the similar things, the data is there on that case detail page. So here if you see, the entire data is there on the case details page, okay. Now what we need to do, if you want to save this, okay, instances, how we can do that. So let's first learn in that activity, okay. So here let's say I'll add another step, okay, on the same step page, case page, and then here I'll just say property set, because we want to update few attribute on this one, and then we'll do obj save, okay. So here what I'll do, let's say that loan details. So here our class is, for now I'll just use that class loan, or I'll just update that loan details attribute to work. I'll just move that because that attribute is there in this class. So I'll just move this loan details attribute to work layer. So usually what we do, whenever we create any page type of property, we mostly keep it in work layer. It will all depends. I'm not saying that you should create always in work layer, but yeah, mostly. So for usability purpose, we created a work layer. So I just move that loan details property to work layer. Now I'll be able to update that. So here I'll come to activity and then say loan details dot loan amount. So here the value was 100, okay, and then this time I'll update to 100. Okay, so now if I'll update this one, so if I'll trace and show you, trace. So here in the beginning, you see that on Obj-open, we have the value 100, okay, and in the next stage, okay, after property set, the same value is 200, okay. So still this is not saved to database table, okay. So to do the database save, okay, what we have to do, we have to use obj save, okay, to save that, and then we have to do commit as well. So as still like two more steps is left, but let's do the same thing in data transform, that how we'll do that. So for that one, so you need, let's say you need similar page case page on, and that and that you want to update the data, because what will happen, this is a read only, okay. So you don't want to change that one to, you don't want to make as a read table. So what we can do, okay, we can create a case page here as well, okay. So we can just say case page, and then here what we can do, we can give the same class, work class here. So just, and then here what we can do, instead of update page, we can just do a set, okay. So we'll just do like this. What it will do, it will open the details, okay, that case details, and map it on that case page. So let's trace and see that, okay. And in the next stage, what I'll do, I'll just do an update page, so that I can see in the tracer that on case page we have that entire details of that case. So let's run it. See, on case page we got that same details, okay. So still 100, because still we have not saved, but you can see that we have matched that step, okay. So using the data page, okay, so here only the question is that, okay, if I ask anyone that how we can do Obj-open, okay, or if you want to do Obj-open and want to update few attributes, how you'll do that. So still people gets confused and they will say, no, no, I need activity only. But here you can see that what I did here, that first I opened that case, and then I'm doing property set, and then I'll do obj save. So here as of now we have not saved it, but you can see that first I opened it and mapped that things, that entire case details on this case page. So now we got a temporary page, okay, similar to this one activity, we got a temporary page. Now we want to update few data, okay. So we'll just say set, okay, on case page, and then we can say loan details dot amount, okay, loan amount, and then here I can say 200. So you can see that the similar step I performed here, right. So the next thing is that we want to save it, okay. So how we can save it? So for saving, still we need activity, okay. So there is no functions, okay. So in data transform, but I'll show you that how that also we can do it. So let's say we want to do obj save here, okay. So while giving obj save, we have to give the same case page, okay. So it will save. For now I'll just select right now, okay, so that it will save the data. Now how we'll perform the same thing in data transform, okay. So there is a two way. One is that you can create one reusable activity which will have the obj save, obj open, obj, I mean like all obj methods, and you can use that. So I'll show you how you can do that. So in that way what we have to do, okay, or you can find out of the box activity as well. So we have obj save activity, let me see that. So that also we can use that, but if you need, okay, you have multiple obj methods, you can do that. So you can see that obj save, some activity is there, that also we can use that. One second, okay. Or I think functions is also there, px obj save. One second. No, this is not the method, okay. Okay, so how we can do that, okay, there is a two way. One is that we can find out any out of the box activity which will just do the saving work, or we can create our own, okay. And in that one we can mention list down all obj method, okay. So let me create another one, okay, and then show you. So we'll just create one activity, something like that, db update, let's say. So I'll go to technical and I'll say db update, okay, db update. And this activity we can use in entire applications for any db operation. So here I can say db update, okay, db update, and then I can create in base class, so that it can be used either in data and in work layer, both side. Here I'll leave that step page, and then here I'll say I can maybe define that, okay. I can define multiple parameters, okay, save, 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 and then here I can define save, with right now. Okay, and all this will be boolean. We can decide, like, we can keep it boolean. Now what we can do based on these parameters, okay, we can configure here steps. Obj save, let's say obj save with right now. Okay, you can add as many methods you want, okay, in this one based on the parameters, and then I'll simply say param dot save with right now, continue else, skip a step. You can, if you want to do error exception handling, in this one you can do. Now we can simply call this activity, okay, for this everywhere wherever you want to do it. Okay, you can ask a question that you also end up the day wrote activity, but yes, I wrote activity, but I'll not be writing for each and everything. Okay, I just wrote once and then I'll be using that. Now what we can do, we'll go to this data page, sorry, data transform, and in this one if you want to update this one, the same value, the similar way what we wrote here, here obj save, we can do it here. So we'll just add a step below here, and then I'll just say param dot save. Okay, this is just because we need to give something, and then we'll find out execute activity. So there is a function, so to execute activity. So I'll just search px execute an activity, and then it should take two parameters, clipboard page and then activity name. So activity name, I'll just give that same activity, and then parameter page we can just say primary, or we can give case page as well, db update, because we want to update the case page. Now let's run it and see that. Okay, because still here what I'll do, I'll comment out this one obj save. Okay, and first I'll update the data from here because we are using the same case. So I'll update the data from here, and we'll see that what loan amount value we are seeing from there. So let's run this one, trace as well, and run it. So we can see that, okay, case page value got updated to 200 here. Okay, and let's see here that it came to db update, and then param dot false skip step. Okay, it got false for now, which is save, because we didn't pass that parameter. So how we can do that, we need to pass that parameter as well. So before saving, what we need to do, so this is another example that you need to learn, that how we can pass the parameter also in execute activity. So just you have to set that parameter, nothing else. Okay, so take that the parameter, so this is the parameter name. I'll just come here and then say param dot this one, and then set the value. It will auto pass to activity, because if you see here when I traced it, it got a false because I didn't pass anything. Okay, so by default boolean is false, so that's why it didn't execute it a step. Now let's do it again. So trace and run it. So this time you can see that I just set this value param dot save right now, and true here I'm saying. So this time it got executed, and hope that value would have got updated. Now let's run that activity and see that what is the value of this one. So I've just commented out obj save, save, and then I'll comment this also property set. I'll just do obj open from activity. We'll see that what is the value on that case. So let's trace and run that case page, and value we can see 200. So see, like, this is how we can update the value from that data transform. Okay, so let's recap again, because I know, like, I did multiple things. So let me quickly recap that how we can do that. Okay, obj open and save from data transform. Okay, so the first things which we have to do, like, let's say we are doing obj open in activity, similar way we can create a data page, okay, of a lookup type, and then pass that our pyd, and then map to that, like, copy that entire details to a page, temporary page. Like here we are giving a step page, so here instead of giving a step page, we can copy that entire details using the set. Okay, so set will work. Okay, sometimes people get confused that how set will work, but in data transform the set will copy entire things. Okay, so whatever the data we have on this one, it will copy. The next thing is that we want to update that attribute. So you do update page, and then update whatever the attribute you want to update, and then finally call an activity to save. Okay, so now to here to save, okay, we can create a one reusable activity, a parameterized reusable activity, which we can call from anywhere from your applications. Okay, so in this activity I have just like added db, like obj save with right now, but you can configure many things like obj save with right now, commit with error handling, everything. So you can just Okay, so that will be can be used anywhere. Now we learn Obj-open. Now the next thing is that how we can do Obj-browse. So Obj-browse is the simplest things. Okay, so what we have to do, simply let's add another step here, like I'll comment out. Okay, and Obj-browse, what we have to do, simply here in activity what we do, okay, we add a method Obj-browse. So in Obj-browse again it asks like the page list, okay, page, and so we can give case page list. So we need to define a page list, case page list, and then I'll give this same class, and then we need to have another px result as well if you want to do something. So now this we will give as a class, sorry, page step page. So I'll give step page, and then here it's asking for a class as well. So I'll just copy the same class and I'll give it. Okay, and you can define the parameters whatever you want to define here. Okay, sorry, case page list. Okay, so here you can see that, okay, max record all on all those things you can define. And here in Obj-browse, if you want to give a conditions, you can give that conditions, but for now I'm not giving any conditions. So let's run it. Okay, run this one and see that case page list. So trace, and then here we can see that case page list. So let's see that we got px result. Okay, so we can see the px result. So total we got 7. Now let's do that. Okay, let's recap, and then we'll again do it in data transform, the same thing. Okay, so what we did, just we added simply Obj-browse. Okay, that is the easiest, like that's where many people say that still answers or say that, or they say that I'll be using Obj-browse because the activity is the easiest thing. So simply add Obj-browse methods and then add conditions and done. Okay, but to do that the same things in data transform, we have to do a little work. Okay, so how we can do that? Okay, so for that we need to create a data page. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, and let's say after that we want to loop on this one. Okay, so we can add a loop step and then say loop on top level pages, and then here we can define that our page list property. And if you want to, let's say, take the key, okay, pyd in a param dot some property, if you want to set, just I'm showing you so that I'll show you the same step in data transform param dot case id, let's say case id, and then here I'll just say pyd. Okay, let's run that and see. What happened? 1 second. Something is calling data manipulations activity. I think this should be for each embedded page. Sorry, my bad. This one should be for each embedded page. So let me run that. Let me trace. Yeah, now we can see that. So each time we are setting, and here in parameter we can see that. And let me enable this pop-up. So you can see that case id, it got mapped. Okay, each time. So let's say if you want to use this case id for another Obj-open or something, so you can do that. Okay, so inside that one, maybe inside that loop you want to use the same Obj-open up, like open one case and then update. So those kind of things you can do that. Now let's see that if you want to do the similar things, how we can do that in data transform. Okay, so basically to do that the same in data transform, we have a functions, or you can create a, you need to create a data pages. Okay, and then report definition. So you can create a report definitions, call report definitions also using the functions, or you can create a data pages. So for now I simply show you that how we can create a data page. Okay, so just say that I think I have already, so I'll just show you that here when you create a case type, Pega creates a two data page. Okay, for that case, like d underscore loan request and loan request list. So list is basically referring to that same okay, the Obj-browse. So basically, and then here what it is doing, so you can see that we have a d underscore loan request. So if you want to create a generic one, you can create in work layer. So let's say that case list, okay, so you can say that case list and then create in work layer so that you can fetch any type of cases, okay. And then here we have a data table editor, right? So you can create an on rd, and whatever the detail you want to fetch, you can fetch that one, okay. So I'll just save as this one also to work layer. Now I'll run it, okay. So if I'll run, it will give us that all the cases, like, so we got 7 from the date activity. Here also we can get the 7. See, here we got the 7. Now if you want to again, so this one also we can just refer d underscore case list in our data transform, come here and just say update page, so that then so that will call and it will execute, sorry, here comment. So what will happen if I'll now run, okay, it will call this one, and on this page it will map all the details, okay. If you want to see, if you want to do that, like now if you want to loop and then again if you want to do something, so that also we can do that. So let's say here only we can say that d underscore sorry, here we can say that for each page in, and then here we can mention dot px result, okay. And then entire things we can mention here. So this present classes is important, and then here we need to give that same class. So after that, again what we can do in this one, the way we were taking that key, and then after taking the key you can follow the same step, okay. So you can use this data page to open that case and mapped on this one update. So you can do this kind of a calculation. So basically here what I'm trying to show you, that yes, the obj methods, okay, how we can use in data transform. Yes, we are learning how we can do in data activity as well, but also we were learning how we can do in data transform as well. So if you see, like what we were trying to learn today, okay, so we saw that Obj-open, Obj-browse also we saw, Obj-save also I showed you that in activity, yes, you can directly use Obj-save it, but if you want to use in data transform, you can just create one reusable activity and use it. Now let's learn delete, Obj-delete, okay. So how we can do that? Again, Obj-delete is very easy in activity. See, that is the things that these things are very easy in activity, but now Pega is saying no, activity is deprecated. So how we can find out an alternative rule, so that we can improve our guardrail score, so the compliance score. So now let me add another step here, and I'll show you obj delete. So here obj delete, okay, or delete by handle, okay, whatever we want, where we want, okay. So let's say here we want to delete. So basically to delete that, it will ask like if you want to use obj delete, then we need to give a page, okay, which page we want to delete. So then we can simply say that we want to delete case page. So first we want to open, and then we need to refer that same page. So obj delete, what is the difference between obj delete and handle? Let's see that in delete by handle we need to give that ins handle. If you don't have ins handle, then we need to give the page. We just need to select Obj-open, and then we need to give this page, okay. So on this, from this page, it will take the handle, it will delete, okay. So let's see that Obj-delete. So for that one we need to do Obj-open as well, and then in case page we'll just give this one. So now, and also it is asking remove, okay, and then immediate, yes, we can say that remove immediately, okay. So now run it, okay. So if I run, let's see what will happen. Okay, so now this case should have been gone, okay. So if I'll go and try to open that case 7, which I was using till this as of now, I think that would have got deleted from the database. So let's try to open this case. Still it is there. How come? Let me see that obj delete, and then case page, let me see that remove immediate. Let me trace. Case page, it should have got deleted. Let me check that in the case instances. So how we can check the case instances? So we can go to our work class and click on that node. is still there. Obj, 1 second. Immediate app selected. Maybe I need to do commit with error handling. I'm not sure. Just let me try commit. But I've selected already. Case layer. No, there is some problem. Let me try that obj delete by handle. Okay, so to delete by handle, again we need to select what we need to select. We need to give that a key. Okay, so we can copy that key from this case. So how we can copy the key is that we need to open that case, and from clipboard we'll get the pg key. So we'll go to work page, we'll find out that the case id, and from here we can just say pj key. So we can get this one, and then come to activity and just see here. I think maybe a delete was not working because we didn't took that lock, so we'll see that. So I'll just say immediate. Okay, and then let me run this time and let's see if it is working. So trace is not required, so let me run that. We got a success. Let's see if it got deleted or not. Let me, no, there is some issue. I think I'm unable to do a delete operations of case. This should be working. Let me select this lock and release and commit, and let's see. Yeah, so I think commit was missing, sorry for that. So yes, we need to commit lock and release on commit, and then immediate. Okay, so immediately it got deleted. Okay, so now similar way here, what we were missing, if you want to use obj, let's say if I'll just say 6, if you want to delete 6, for that obj open, and then in a combinations of obj delete. Okay, so I'll just comment this one and I'll insert above. I'll just say obj delete, and then here I'll give the same case page, and we were trying to delete that 6, remove immediate, and then here I'll say lock and release and commit. So usually here we are doing immediate. If you're not doing immediate, then we have to do a commit. Okay, otherwise it will not work. So let me run, and then here if I come refresh loan case layer, then 6 is also gone. So you can see that obj delete is also working, just that we have to take that lock. Okay, and after taking that lock, okay, either we should select that immediate if you want to do, or the best practices is that you should do commit with error handling. Okay, so now let's see that how we can do that obj delete, okay, in data transform. So let's do that. Okay, so what we can do, again we'll come back to db update our that activity, and there we will add another step. Okay, so here what we can do, we'll add the similar way. Okay, so here we can say delete. So I'll just, for now I'll show you obj delete, but you can just pass that key, and you can say that you can try with obj delete by handle as well. So I'll just say delete, and then I'll add a boolean again, and then let's add another step here. I'll say obj delete, and then here conditions parent dot delete, continue else skip a step. Okay, and then here I'll say remove immediate. Okay, but before that, maybe because here the delete will not work because we are not taking that lock. Okay, so we have to take that lock as well. So then we can add another step. Okay, obj refresh and lock. Okay, to take that. So that also you can take it with conditionals or without conditions. So here obj refresh and lock, and here you can see that I'm not giving a page. So that is the benefit. So what will happen, on whatever the page we will be calling, it will auto work. Okay, so here from, let's see that. So here I want to, let's say I want to delete 5th one. Okay, and then I've selected 5th. For now I'll comment this this step. And in this case page, what I'm trying to do, instead of updating anything, I'm just trying to call that. Okay, so I'll simply add a step here also, and then say delete param dot delete. This step is not required, because what we want to do, just we want to delete that. So we want to delete the case page, same case page of 05, and then I'm calling that same activity, but this time the parameter will get changed. So instead of param dot save with right now, I'll just say param dot delete, and I'll set true. So now if I run it, okay, it should delete that case number 05. Let's try that. Let's trace as well. Trace and run it. So you can see that it called. Okay, so here it took that lock. Okay, and then after taking that lock, it executed param.delete. So I'm hoping that it would have deleted 05. So let's see that. Yeah, so 05 is also gone. So you can see that how we are doing, right? So let's recap quickly. Okay, so I'll just close most of the things, and I'll have it open 3 things, and I'll recap, because we are kind of done with that today's agenda. So let's see that. So first we learn Obj-open, and to do that Obj-open, we need to give a step page, okay, of that same class, like work class we can give, or whatever the data class we want to open, and then we have to give the conditions. Similarly, what we did for Obj-open, we created a lookup type of data page, and then we passed it, okay, that case ID. So this case ID you can pass it dynamically, obviously, and then you can define a case page similar to that activity, and then you can just copy that. So then it will be similar equivalent to Obj-open. Now the next thing is that if you want to update any data, so just in this, like, use update page, update the data whatever you want, and then finally if you want to save it, so in activity it's very easy to save. We have obj methods, and then we can call another methods obj, like commit with error handling and other stuff. Okay, but for that one, what we need to do, we need to create another activity here, and in that one we can mention all obj methods and then commit also, and based on the parameter we can call. So here if you see, I can call commit with error handling, or call, or simply I can say commit. Okay, so that everything we can do here, but it should be parameterized. So like what will happen, I know this will throw a guardrail score, like it will impact your guardrail scores, but it won't do much, because you are doing in only one place. Okay, instead of doing in multiple place, so you can list down all methods and call it. So here we used obj save, okay, for save the data and pass that parameter to true, and then we executed that. So that's how we did that obj open and save. For obj browse, it's very simple. In activity, yes, we have that methods, but we can create a data page, we can create, I didn't remember the function's name, px retrieve some function's name is also there, which takes the class and then it opens that. Or you can use simply a data page, list type data page you can create. Okay, in the data page you can give source, report definition. And the final one is the delete. It's very easy to delete in activity, because we have the obj open methods, and then obj delete we can just pass the case, or we can use obj delete by handle as well. But to do that, yes, in data transforms we need to write few steps. So like here we need to first open that case, and then again use the same activity, okay, and set param.delete and call that activity to delete. So this is how we can do it. So in a combination, so basically, so if you want to reduce the compliance, like if you want to increase the compliance scores, you need to go with multiple rules. Like here you can see that I was able to write everything in the activity, okay, but to mimic the similar code, okay, in data transform I had to write data transform, I had to write activity also, and I had to write data page. Okay, but this is how we have to do in future if you want to reduce the impact, if you want to increase the compliance score. Okay, because the activity is deprecated. So that's it for today's sessions. Okay, I hope these quick sessions will help you, and if you're liking my content, and if my content is helping you, please do subscribe. So thank you very much. Have a good day. And if you have any doubt on these topics, please comment, ask in comment sections, and I can reply with the answer.